This tragic and frightening event after the inferno we saw just days ago just really add the pressure on the Bronx and all those who have experienced and overcoming this issue as it seems to continue to unfold right now.
We used approximately 200 fire and EMS personnel from our agency, and we're continuing to investigate, to drill down and to find out exactly what caused this. And we will be on scene, operating as we sift through the rubble just to look for any type of evidence.
In a move to avert a significant disruption to U.S. flights, telecommunication giants AT&T and Verizon on Tuesday agreed to temporarily defer turning on some wireless towers with 5G service near key airports, a third such delay for the two companies. The new C-band 5G wireless service, which was set to begin on Wednesday, threatened to cause massive flight cancellations. The Federal Aviation Administration had warned that potential 5G wireless interference could affect sensitive airplane instruments such as altimeters and significantly hamper low-visibility operations. It was not immediately clear how many towers the wireless companies agreed not to activate. U.S. President Joe Biden hailed the agreement, saying in a statement, quote, "This agreement will avoid potentially devastating disruptions to passenger travel and cargo operations," while White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called for a lasting solution.
Our objective is, of course, to reach a solution around 5G deployment that maintains the highest level of safety while minimizing disruptions to passenger travel. That's what we're working towards.
It was the third time that AT&T and Verizon agreed to delay deployment of the new C-band 5G wireless service. The chief executives of major U.S. passenger and cargo carriers on Monday said new 5G service could render a significant number of wide-body aircraft unusable, could potentially strand tens of thousands of Americans overseas, and cause chaos for U.S. flights. Now, the FAA and airlines must grapple with how to resolve the concerns permanently. Despite Tuesday's agreement, major foreign carriers including Air India and Japan's biggest airline, ANA Holdings, said they had canceled some U.S.-bound flights because of possible 5G interference.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will try to defuse a crisis with Moscow over Ukraine when he meets with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Geneva on Friday. Blinken's meeting will come on the heels of visits with Ukrainian leaders in Kiev and European officials in Berlin. With tens of thousands of Russian troops amassed in and near Ukraine, and as Russian forces have moved into Belarus for joint military drills, the White House on Tuesday warned Russia could launch an invasion in Ukraine at any point. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
Our view is this is an extremely dangerous situation. We're now at a stage where Russia could at any point launch an attack in Ukraine. And what Secretary Blinken is going to go do is highlight very clearly there is a diplomatic path forward. It is the choice of President Putin and the Russians to make whether they are going to suffer severe economic consequences or not.
Blinken spoke with Lavrov on Tuesday and urged de-escalation, according to the State Department. A senior official said the pair decided it would be useful to meet in person. Lavrov told reporters Tuesday that Moscow would welcome U.S. diplomatic efforts. But Lavrov reiterated Russian accusations that Ukraine was sabotaging agreements aimed at ending the conflict between Ukrainian government forces and pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. Russia, which annexed the Crimea Peninsula from Ukraine in 2014, has denied any plans for an attack. But Russia says it could take unspecified military action unless its demands, including a promise by the NATO alliance never to admit Kiev, are met. U.S. talks with Russia ended in a stalemate last week. On Tuesday, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said the U.S. continues on its path of diplomacy with Russia, but is on alert should talks fail.
Again, we see no signs of de-escalation, so we're going to continue to try to pursue the diplomatic path and as an administration, make sure that we're ready should that path fail and should there be another incursion of Russian forces into Ukraine.
Rudy Giuliani and 2 others were subpoenaed on Tuesday by the U.S. House Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot. Giuliani had been told to hand over documents and sit for a deposition next month, along with lawyers to former U.S. President Donald Trump, Sidney Powell, and Jenna Ellis. The committee also subpoenaed Boris Epshteyn, a former Trump advisor. Committee Chairman Representative Benny Thompson said in a statement, quote, "The 4 individuals we've subpoenaed today advanced unsupported theories about election fraud, pushed efforts to overturn the election results, or were in direct contact with the former president about attempts to stop the counting of electoral votes." Giuliani's lawyer called the subpoena political theater, while Powell, Epshteyn, and Ellis did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Giuliani's New York attorney's license was suspended last summer after an appeals court determined he spread misinformation about the 2020 presidential election, won by Democrat Joe Biden. Powell and Ellis also took part in attempts to overturn the vote. A source familiar with the House investigation said the committee is aiming to release an initial report in the summer and a final one in the fall.
Stocks and bonds got slammed on Wall Street Tuesday after disappointing earnings from Goldman Sachs dragged down the Dow and financial stocks, while a spike in benchmark Treasury yields to 2-year highs dealt a blow to rate-sensitive tech titans like Apple and Amazon. Trader Jeff Tomasulo of Vespula Capital says the sell-off could steepen much further.
We are seeing now people trying to jockey around how they're going to rebalance their portfolios, knowing that going forward that we're going to have higher interest rates and that we're going to have a tapering and that the sugar bowl or whatever you want to call it is getting pulled away.
The Dow dropped nearly 550 points, or 1.5%. The S&P 500 slid 1.8%. The Nasdaq cascaded over 2.5%. Goldman Sachs shares tumbled 7%. Weakness in its trading business helped yank quarterly profit down almost 13%, falling short of Wall Street's targets. Microsoft finished down 2.4%, making it the biggest drag on the S&P and Nasdaq. It's paying nearly $69 billion to buy video game publisher Activision Blizzard. Shares of the maker of the Call of Duty franchise shot up by more than a fourth, making it the biggest gainer on both indexes.